You are listening to KSG Podcast. This is a short, crisp, concise, exam oriented, edited editorial for civil services aspirants. The topic for this podcast is India's climate promises. The source for the content is Amitabh Sinha's article for the Indian Express. At the UN Climate Conference in Glasgow on 2nd of November 2021, Prime Minister raised India's existing climate targets and also announced a few new targets. Importantly, none of the targets is likely to be too difficult to achieve. Now let's talk about net zero. Of the 5-point targets announced by Prime Minister, achieving net zero emission status by 2070 is the one whose roadmap is not available right now. This promise seems to have been made primarily to satisfy the international demand. At the same time, 2070 is a long way away, and there is plenty of time to plan a roadmap to achieve the target. The other 4 targets have to be achieved in a more immediate time frame by 2030. Moving on to emission intensity and renewables, 2 of the targets, reducing emissions intensity and increasing the renewable mix in the installed electricity capacity, are already part of India's official nationally determined contributions or NDCs submitted in 2015 as part of the requirement under the Paris Agreement. In that NDC, India had promised to reduce its emissions intensity or emissions per unit of GDP by 33 to 35% from 2005 levels by 2030 and to ensure that at least 40% of its installed electrical capacity in 2030 would come through non-fossil fuel-based energy sources. PM has now enhanced both these targets, emissions intensity reduction to 45% and the share of renewables in installed electricity capacity to 50%. Now we talk about the forest cover, which has not been addressed. The third promise made in India's NDC about increase in forest cover did not find a mention in Prime Minister's speech. And that is the only target India is struggling to achieve. In the NDC, India has promised to create an additional carbon sink of 2.5 to 3 billion tons of carbon dioxide equivalent through forest and tree cover by 2030. Although forest cover has been growing according to official data, the pace of growth so far has been far from commensurate with what is required to meet the target. Talking about the non-fossil fuel, Prime Minister's other 2 announcements about raising installed capacity of renewable energy and an absolute reduction of 1 billion tons of carbon dioxide by 2030 are not part of India's existing commitments but are nonetheless linked. India had initially set out to install 20 gigawatts of solar power capacity by 2020 that was later raised to 100 gigawatts by 2022. Targets for wind and biogas were later added, making it a renewable energy power capacity target of 175 gigawatts for 2022. 2 years ago, Prime Minister enhanced this to 450 gigawatts for 2030. None of this was ever part of the NDC, but publicly announced targets India had set for itself. In Glasgow, Prime Minister said India would have 500 gigawatts of non-fossil fuel-based energy capacity by 2030. Non-fossil fuels include not just renewables like solar or wind, but also nuclear and hydro, which together make up over 50 gigawatts right now. Achieving the 450 gigawatts target for renewable energy, therefore, would automatically achieve the target of 500 gigawatts for non-fossil fuel energy sources. Also, installed nuclear energy is in the process of a significant ramping up. Installed nuclear power capacity is set to increase to 22 gigawatts by 2031 from the current 7 gigawatt. And finally, absolute emissions. The 5th target PM announced was new and unexpected. The Prime Minister said India would ensure it reduces 1 billion tons from its projected emissions between now and 2030. Put another way, India would bend its business as usual emissions trajectory to ensure at least 1 billion tons of emissions are saved. This is the first time India has talked about making a reduction in its absolute emissions. All previous formulations used to be in terms of emission intensity, which is an emission per unit of GDP. The 1 billion ton reduction promise and the emissions intensity target, however, seem to be inextricably linked. The latter target, too, is about bending the emissions trajectory. It seeks to ensure that while India's GDP as well as emissions would continue to grow, the rate of growth of emissions would be slower than that of GDP, so that more GDP is created for the same amount of emissions. Achieving the emission intensity targets would mean that India would be emitting far less than in the business as usual scenario. The numbers are not immediately evident, but this saving in emissions could form a substantial chunk of the 1 billion ton reduction now promised. It's possible it may even exceed 1 billion tons. The promise to reduce 1 billion tons of emissions could, therefore, be another way of reiterating the emission intensity target. That's it for this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. To join KSJ India courses and to crack the ICE exam, visit ksjindia.com. You can also get a PDF of this podcast on ksjindia.com. Thanks for listening.